Hello, all of you bold, beautiful, brilliant, and highly evolved souls. I am Davina, and I'm with you on your journey here of healing from C-PTSD and narcissistic abuse. And today's topic, whenever I look at my screen, my eyes get dry. Today's topic is tips for choosing and working with a counselor or therapist. So I have quite a few here. First of all, I'd like to go over things that you probably want to ask your therapist or counselor before you start. So, and of course, you probably already have some idea of what you'd want to ask. So these are just like my ideas. And I'm starting counseling soon, so I wanted to like go over this and in terms of just kind of refreshing what I want. But so number one is, I think the number one and most important question is, have they done their family of origin healing work? And are they continuing to do their healing work? I think if they have no clue about what trauma is, what childhood trauma is, then, for me anyway, that's pass. And on to the next. Number two, what have they done to recover from their trauma and C-PTSD? And I believe that everyone has trauma from their childhood, whether it's little or a lot. I think everyone has some level of C-PTSD. So you want to know, you want to know a little bit about their journey. What have they done? How long have they been healing? Those kind of things. And it's okay to ask these questions. It really is, just as if you were going to ask questions to your dentist or your doctor or your mechanic. You want to know, or you're hiring somebody, you want to know what's your experience, what are you certified in, all that stuff. Number three, what do they know about narcissistic abuse? And personally, it's ideal if they actually have that personal experience of experiencing narcissistic abuse, because I know I would not understand it if I hadn't gone through it myself. If someone was telling me about their experience, I'd kind of get it, but I wouldn't fully understand what that's like unless, I had parents who were also narcissistic. So they either have to, I think for me anyway, be either really, really knowledgeable or have personal experience, preferably both. Number four, what techniques or methods do they use as a therapist? And of course, these can be varied. So, they have all sorts of those little words like, I do mindfulness therapy, or I do, CBT or DBT or EMDR. And, there's tons of different somatic experiencing and on and on. So you want to know like what kind of methods they use. IFS, the internal family systems. I think that one's pretty common these days. And see if it matches, what you want and what you're doing and what your methods are. Number five, and Pete Walker talks about this, do you take a relational approach? Because beyond what you're actually saying and the content and what you're doing in the therapy is the sort of meta experience that you're having a relationship with the therapist, right? And so does it feel like, that, or are they open to that kind of relational experience so that you get kind of a model of, oh, this is what a healthy, supportive, authentic relationship would be like. And I think that model is so important for us folks who are healing from childhood trauma, because we never had that example. Or maybe one of us had one parent that was that example, but for some of us, we had no one. And so we need that experience, and it can be very healing, I think. And I've tasted a little bit of it, but having a counselor who's, just really sensitive and really cares about you. And it can be a healing experience to understand that you are worthy of that, of being supported and cared for. And the next section is things that you might want to ask yourself, either during the session, something you can kind of monitor in the session or after the session. So number one, do they validate the fact that you were abused by your parents? This is a strange one, but it's, I've been in counseling and people never directly say things like, what your parents did to you was horrible, or, I can't imagine what you went through when your father said that to you, or, like really acknowledging that what your parents did was wrong and what your parents did was hurtful to you. Really, so you can feel that, that validation from someone else. It is so powerful to have someone else say, or even just a compassion, like, I'm really sorry that you went through that kind of that hellish childhood. What, that must have been so terrible for you. And to continue to validate that through sessions, not just session one, but like throughout your sessions, to be feeling like they're really not in denial, because many people are still in denial to some level. And I guess we all are, but some people have a lot of denial, and they might not want to say, because they haven't done their deeper work. So number two, are they able to mirror well and have an empathetic and empathize with you in an attuned way, and leaving you feel like you've been understood and you have a sense of fulfilling connection. So during the session, you're noticing that they're not trying to control the conversation or anything, and they're not going off on some tangent that you didn't intend to talk about. They're really just following you, mirroring you. And, they might ask, of course, they're going to ask questions and stuff, but you don't feel like things are, getting derailed, and you feel like they're truly empathizing with you, like not just saying the words robotically, like that you must have felt angry, but to really like sense that they like they're empathizing from their heart and not just from their head. That's super important, because of course narcissists don't have any empathy. So for us to have empathy, in like true heartfelt empathy, is so important, or at least it is for me, and I imagine it is for you. Number three, do you feel supported? Like they are on your side and they care about you. This has been really important for me. And yeah, you just want to really have a sense that, they're with you, they're beside you on this journey. And, like they're holding your hand, and you get the sense that they really care about you. When you show up for the session, they're glad to see you, and they're warm and welcoming, and you just get a sense that this person likes me. And yeah, that makes all the difference in the world. Number four, do they show you respect, trusting that you are the expert of you and that you know what's best for you? And this is also so important for us folks who have been abused by narcissists, because narcissists, of course, think that they are the authority of you, and they know how you feel and what you should think and what you should do and everything else. So for me, this is a hugely triggering point, and I'm getting triggered just by talking about it. But yeah, if a therapist starts trying to impose their ideas, their way of thinking, or subtly saying, you should do that, or they're pushing you, for me, those are big no-nos. So make sure that you really, truly feel respected, and that they respect where you are in your journey, and they meet you there. They're just meeting you there. They're not trying to sort of give you advice or anything like that, because you have your own inner wisdom and your own inner authority. Number 5, are they able to hold space for all of your feelings and let you cry freely or anger things out? Some people can be triggered by you getting angry. It's, because they've maybe had an angry parent. So if a counselor's, again, hasn't done their deep healing work, they might be triggered, or you might fawn because you might say, oh, I don't know if I should be angry. It's going to bother her. I know I've done that probably a gazillion times. Make sure, like, do I feel comfortable sharing my feelings with this person? Can I cry openly and freely with this counselor? Obviously that's hugely important, because that's where the healing is going to happen. And does the counselor allow that space too? Because I know sometimes they want to like jump in, you start crying and suddenly they're asking you a question, or you're like, just, whoa, just, let me feel. So are they just letting you feel and being that presence for you, they being that loving, caring presence for you? Just a few more here. Number 6, do they listen attentively and ask thoughtful, open-ended questions? Yeah, obviously hugely important for someone. Yeah, do they listen? Are they curious, just openly curious about you? Again, not showing any agenda. They're not trying to like fix you, because there are definitely counselors out there that, have that sort of agenda thing because they want to build their ego up. Like, look, I'm helping this person, doing such a great job. So be careful for that too. So just make sure that they're just listening. They're open, they're attentive, they're curious, and they're asking you those kind of open-ended questions so that you don't feel, again, controlled in any way, because obviously we're going to be triggered by things like that. Number 7, are they open to your boundaries? And this is something I've started doing before I start any kind of counseling, is just list exactly what I'm needing in the session. This is what I want. I want mirroring, I want empathy, and, let them know exactly what you're wanting in your session so that they know, and so that you both understand that hopefully you're on the same page, because if you're not a match, then you'll know immediately. And 8, do you look forward to your sessions with your counselor or therapist? Yeah, this is, this kind of tells you, that it's working. I feel good about this. I'm looking forward to it. Oh, yay, it's almost Saturday and I have my counseling with Sarah on Saturday, and I'm, looking forward to seeing her and talking with her. And when sometimes what I've noticed is when I start to outgrow that therapist, or it's not working for me anymore, I've noticed that maybe it's not a match in the ways that I thought it was. And I start going, I don't really want to go to counseling today. Maybe I'll cancel. And then you find you're canceling, or you're skipping, or then you probably, it might be time to end that, or maybe just set some boundaries. But I generally think that, having a good positive feeling about it is a good sign that you found someone who's working for you, who's helping you, and who's, with you on your journey. So I hope that these have been a little bit helpful for you. As always, take what you like, leave the rest. And I am wishing you many, many blessings on your journey of healing and awakening. And I am Davina at Boldness Blooming. Thank you for watching.